Welcome to one of my Runeterra highlight videos. I highlight a different deck almost every single day of the week. If you enjoy the content, remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment down below. Enjoy. Alright, chat. Ashe Kench'em. Gotta Kench'em all. Taham Kench here. I really love this card. It builds around in a few different shells. Soraka Kench is the shell that we've really seen this card shine in on the ladder results so far, where it's paired with healing. So every turn, this makes an acquired taste, which lets it swallow an enemy unit, but the unit that he's swallowing strikes him. So what this deck is looking to do with Ashe is a Frostbite champion. Frostbite says set a unit's power to 0 until end of turn, and Ashe Frostbite something when she attacks. Things like Rhymetusk Shaman, Frostbite every turn, and we use these various effects that Frostbite our opponent's stuff to serve up some frozen meals to Kench so he can gobble things up without taking much damage. We also have Kindly Tavern Keeper here, which while this is generally used to heal your Nexus, this can also be used to heal allies. This can be something to keep Taham Kench nice and healthy. And then we've got some copies of Troll Chant here, because remember, temporary defense bonuses, if they're putting you to defense that's less than your total, this can basically heal you back as well. At the bottom end of the curve, we've got some things like Hired Gun, Sentry, and Omen Hawk to play to the board early against aggro decks. And at the top end of our curve, we've got some things like Howling Abyss and Feel the Rush to really generate some card advantage against the control decks in the format. So I'm going to go ahead and dive on into some games here with this and see how it goes. This is one of the decks that's up on my website. It's been a hot second since we played it. Hopefully it still feels reasonable. I'm gonna full mulligan here, looking for our 1s, 2s, and 3s to block here nicely. Found one of those things. No one drop out of them is incredible for us, especially since our start is slow.
Coming in hot!
For the Empire. For the glory of Noxus.
What will you have?
What will you have?
Got something for him? I've carved meat bigger than you. Run while you can.
I'm gonna go ahead and drop Kench here, because when I play Ashe next turn, this other Ashe will turn into a frozen flash freeze. Well, I guess that doesn't really do it, right? Because I won't quite have...
Fish and water.
Only have 4 extra mana left over.
Appetizers of plenty.
Through the coral. Blast 'em.
I could eat and then heal with Tavern Keeper, that's true. I kind of like going Hired Gun Rhyme Fang this turn, and then like Ashe next turn. Because next turn I'll have enough mana to Ashe, Flash Freeze, and Acquired Taste.
Dead men tell my tale.
Get bloody, get paid.
I'm sure there's something for my taste.
So Ashe threatens here. Oh, you know what? Was it not? Wasn't free to eat the keg last turn because I wanted to bank the spell mana, right? This is fleeting, so it goes away if you don't use it, but I don't think I should have used it aggressively. If we can stabilize the board a little bit, Howling Abyss's card advantage will be impossible for them to beat. The question is, can we get the board stabilized enough to basically take a turn off to play the 7-drop?
But not that good. Aberrosans, stand together.
I think I like this. Start here, see what they do. And that's fine because Kench is going to be able to eat this still, right? The question is, do I want this Ash to be an Ash, or do I want to flash freeze here to save my wolf? I think I want to save my wolf. Those were real bad hits for them.
Unify the tribes.
Shed a tear.
Gobble gobble. And then, you know, depending on what they do next turn, we might have that window I was talking about where we get to drop this out here.
No one's the wiser.
Is that Misfortunes Make It Rain? Or I assume it was Misfortunes Make It Rain. It says actual Make It Rain. I believe this is the champion spell, if it's the champion spell. I'll pass for now and see what they do. They're definitely attacking me. If they want to burn my mana and not attack, I'm okay with that.
Behind you. Ooh, got some fight in ya.
I'm doing well, Kids Path. To everybody joining us, by the way, I've got a giveaway of Infernal Drake pets, Guardians, whatever we call them here, for Runeterra. If you'd like to enter into that giveaway, I'm going to be picking winners in the middle of the month. All you have to do is comment on any or all of my Runeterra videos that go up on YouTube between December 1st and December 14th.
They got nowhere to go.
That is true, Quaddle. Older variations of this archetype did play that pre-nerf.
Make the Empire proud.
So, really glad I have Kindly Tavern Keeper here to gain some life back up. Makes us a lot less likely to get burned out.
Oh, I don't require a menu. Leave your bags in the door.
Depending on how much reach they have here, they could jump up and kill us here still. They're through 1 Decimate and 1 Noxian Fervor so far. Yup. Zero, thanks for the 21 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. I'm gonna kill this here, because it means if they don't keep a unit in play, they can't Noxian Fervor me. Yes, it gives you a leveled champion, not a 2-cost champion. So, they very likely have a 3rd Decimate in their deck.
Let us peruse this establishment's fare.
I will not be playing in the tournament this weekend.
Blood and sweat. Ancient things trapped in the ice. Nothing a little steel can't suit.
This Noxian Fervor number 2.
Your king has returned. Neither the flames nor the depths could claim me.
Can I have your Prime Glory then? Unfortunately, those are non-transferable. Oh no! Oh no!
Something for all.
The fact that we have Twisted Fate means I couldn't first and then eat him. So he's gonna get to attack and trigger here.
Break their legs. Let's talk about Runeterra.
What kills us from here? So I actually want Captor being captured. This ends with 12 power in play, and it kills this, right? So this means we shouldn't be dead to anything. I could have stacked the eat first. No, I don't think that works. Because I'm pretty sure once I play the flash freeze, it then goes through. This is fine though, right? Because now we have them dead to open attacks, and I don't believe they have any deal twos, right? Because this is +3 from eating that. Yeah, so we have 12 on open attacks now. So they have 1 Decimate left in their deck, and they don't have any units. And Decimate's slow.
Oh, I don't require menu. All or nothing.
And they don't have any units, so they can't Noxian Fervor, even if they draw that. Bluth and Noose work. I'm gonna mulligan this because X1s kind of suck in this matchup. I'm gonna keep both of these because they're decent pieces of interaction. This is an X1, so it like kind of sucks, but it draws a card when it dies, so it's mostly a wash. Yeah, Twisted Fate triggers are funky. They make burst spells past priority, basically. You can play fast things in response, but that's still different. I think I'm actually, with this play here, I'm just going to press OK and bank Spell Mana this turn, and then I'm going to Rhyme Fang into Flash Freeze this next turn, I believe. Yeah, TF kind of locks you out of certain actions, exactly correct. Or he demands your sequencing work in a way that's atypical of how it usually works. If they have like Go Hard plus Vile Feast or like Unspeakable Vile Feast. Now they can't kill this before it kills Elise, and I think I want to burn the Flash Freeze here to keep my pupper alive. It was a good back and forth regardless. And to be fair, it's not a super straightforward interaction, because like I said, Twisted Fate makes it behave differently than it normally would in a situation like that.
I'm always up for a round or two.
I think I just let this happen and just play Tom Kench here.
Didn't prognosticate this, did ya?
You stay away! I give Gecko a bat!
I mean, the wolf could trade with, like, it's kind of like trading this for this, kind of, right? Because, like, if I keep the wolf alive, it can hook something else.
I'm sure there's something for my taste.
I deal in coins and carnage.
Yeah, it should be like 2 weeks till we get the next card drop. Mid December. I would imagine it's probably gonna happen after the seasonal tournament. If I was a gambling man.
You pay first.
How much of this game is actual skill, and how much does it depend on your deck? I mean, all card games have variance by design. You need to have a competitive deck of cards to play like any card game. That being said, acquiring a competitive deck of cards is much easier in Runeterra compared to most other card games, and Runeterra also has a much lower percentage of just strictly bad cards because Runeterra is not trying to fleece you with booster packs. They just let you buy exactly the cards you want directly. They don't have a reason to make cards that are bad. So even decks of more random cards that you put together tend to be much higher in power level in Runeterra than random piles of cards would be in other card games, because other card games tend to have lots of intentionally bad cards in them, whereas Runeterra does not.
Gotta go with the flow.
I have 8 total mana here. I mean, it's not just Magic Portal. It's basically every other card game. Magic's probably more than most in terms of intentionally putting bad cards into their sets, but most card games put bad cards in their game because they're trying to sell booster packs. That's not just like a Magic the Gathering thing, that's just like a card game thing.
Son of a...
Magic has improved the power level of its commons in recent years. Don't post silly things in my chat.
Are you spirit?
What's the stupid green card that's like literally a meme? That's terrible that always shows up that they keep printing. So this saves us 2 life on a hit from this, and it heals Tom Kench too. So I think that's worthwhile. Yeah, Colossal Dreadmaw. That's the one. Also, I didn't strictly say commons and uncommons were bad. I said they put filler in their packs. Those games don't discriminate, chat. There's shitty rares and shitty mythics that are filler too. It's not just commons and uncommons that are filling your packs full of BS that make it difficult for you to get cards that are valuable and good.
You gotta believe me.
You know, honestly, I'm gonna attack with all of these. I'm not sure I'm actually eating. The Kench is interesting because the threat of Kench kind of dictates how the game is played on my opponent's side, which is sweet. Alright, don't crumble me. If they crumble us here, there's a good chance we lose.
Well, you've already got a pot boiling. Yes, but not for you. On me.
Their archetype does go very wide. Thankfully, I've got 6 points of healing rolled up in my hand, and I've got Harsh Winds here as well. Cheap champion, cheap champion. Eh.
Oh, I don't require me.
We could see open attacks here. I think if they open attack, I'm going to block here and then Harsh Winds these.
Another nibble.
Doesn't MTG need filler cards for its draft formats? God! You people have Stockholm Syndrome. Get some help. Get some help. It's amazing how much people have been conditioned to defend these companies and their shitty decisions. No! Limited formats don't require you to have a bunch of unplayable cards in your format. Cube master sets that are intentionally high-powered, all of the, yeah, it is a choice to have intentionally really low-power limited formats. Petrophy and Hyliads, thanks for the follows. Welcome to the channel. Yeah, the fact that they didn't attack with these was real good for us. Now, what's like a worst case scenario from here? They go like Twisted Fate gold card into pack your bags, kill this. It's probably a worst case scenario. It's a second go hard. They're two off of yeah, Howling Abyss is a good value engine if we can get there. The question is, can we live to get there?
A game. Go on then.
Opponent's sorting through a lot of cards. We haven't really played this deck since this deck became popular. I mean, all things considered, a 2/2 elusive for 1 is, like, actually kind of good here, huh?
Leave your bags in the door.
Yeah, like, it has no other text, because my opponent has no puff caps in their deck. But all things considered, I'm kind of okay with this. I think.
Another day in the field.
With king and country.
My opponent just passed with 2 fleeting cards and 8 mana. Deal.
I'm sure there's something for my tastes.
Yeah, I think they expected me to attack. I think they definitely expected me to attack. They're one of the many examples of how the priority system in this game can be very punishing to people that aren't familiar with it. Mastering understanding when passing is good and when it's not is very, very important in Runeterra. They are two pack your bags, 2 go hards away from telling us to pack their bags. So there's a good chance that happens here soon. This survives that. This could survive with Troll Chant. I guess I could theoretically drop Sajani here. Because she survives. She survives a go hard as well. Well, I guess this is technically gonna die, huh? Oh, I also have an attack token this turn from this rally, which is sweet. Alright, and now I get to attack?
Attack. Wait a minute.
You pay first.
You can level Twisted Fate, slow, and burst spell. You can see the screenshot of a blue card for burst spell and have the option to resolve or pull back the parlay. Really weird. Yeah, no, that's not intuitive to me at all, Jeffries. Now, the opponent's archetype does play Ruination, so we could see a sweeper here. That being said, like, Ruination here isn't that big of a deal, right? Because, like, if they Ruinate me here, I get to, if they Ruinate me here, I get to just go ahead and Field Rush next turn. They could tell me to pack my bags now. Now do I just do this and then open attacks next turn? I think that's the play.
Come on in.
Listen, this card is just one of the most fun cards in this game. It's just like the play patterns that it generates are sick. Hey, nice Precipic. This cat is bananas. B-A-N-A-N-A-S. Duke Derpington, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the channel.
Keep up, keep up.
She is more than ready to level.
No going.
So this is likely pack your bags. That's fine. I go to 9.
Avarosa, guide me.
Hey, thanks for the reset, Hunox. I appreciate it. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around.
Faster than my arrow?
I think not. Okay. Yep. And then still down here.
Avarosans, stand together.
We didn't really have many good Kench games in that set, which was unfortunate. I kind of feel like I wish I had another decent source of card advantage other than just like Howling Abyss and Babbling Berg. Definitely felt like I was sputtering out and running out of cards to play with some consistency. And maybe the answer is just like playing more copies of our cards that help us get to those cards. Like the Field Rush at the top end, I think ultimately ended up feeling worse than Howling Abyss. I don't think I need 3 of this big effect at the top. So I think at a minimum, I'm cutting that and I'm going back up a Sentry. I suppose we could just play some copies of Salvage in this deck, right? If like just some draw 2s is what I'm looking for. Like that's just like actual factual 4-mana draw 2. Croaker. I don't think I have enough cheap units to make Croaker good consistently, if that makes sense. Yeah, I think some amount of Salvage. Yeah, and actually, Neko, that's exactly the cut I was thinking of. So the last time we played this deck, and this is a good thought, thinking about how you need to adjust things as formats change, in that Iceveil Archers gotten much worse in a world where Go Hard is like an established meta threat. And honestly, I could see just like going down to even one of these to get a pair of salvages in here. Like let's take a look at what our curve looks like with that change. That could be okay. It's a good number of 4s, but salvage is also like a 4 because it uses spell mana, so it doesn't measure exactly the same. Yeah, I could see Brittle Steel being more reasonable than this in general because of the threat of Go Hard. The resource efficiency on Brittle Steel is often very good. I kind of like that suggestion. I think I'm into that. Curves are for people that don't believe in the heart of the card, something like that. Okay, I think I like that. I'm gonna update the list on the site to do this, I think. So notably, Feel the Rush ended up feeling kind of awkward with our 2 champions that we have. Howling Abyss definitely felt better as like the biggest piece of top end threat. Went back up in Eversonian Sentry, so that way we can find those cards more consistently, and then just a couple copies of Salvage, just a generic, like, draw 2 cards, so, like, accumulate cards back up, so this gives us, like, 7 pieces of card advantage, which seems like a pretty good number for a mid-range deck. Weens, thank you for the 30